His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received in the presence of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa at Safriya Palace the international musician Andre Rieu and a number of members of the Johann Strauss Orchestra to greet His Majesty on the occasion of their visit to the kingdom to hold a concert. His Majesty hailed the musician's international reputation through popularizing classical music in the world, commending his artistic talent. In appreciation for the musician's contributions to enrich international music and for his outstanding musical work. His Majesty the King conferred upon Andre Rieu the Order of Bahrain First Class, wishing him success in his visit to the kingdom and a pleasant stay. Musician Andre Rieu expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King for conferring the Order of Bahrain upon him and for the generous hospitality and warm welcome, affirming his pleasure in visiting Bahrain and in holding the concert.
Your Majesty, King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of the Kingdom of Bahrain, Mr. Andre Rieu, violinist and conductor, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, a very good afternoon. As part of the 17th edition of Bahrain's Spring of Culture, the Kingdom of Bahrain is honored to host the renowned violinist Andre Rieu and his Johann Strauss Orchestra, who will take the stage at the Al Dana Amphitheatre in Bahrain. With a mission to make classical music accessible to all, Andre Rieu has received over 480 Platinum Awards and 3 Classical Brit Awards for Album of the Year, and is one of the biggest solo touring artists in the world. In recognition of his achievements, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa will award Andre Rieu the Order of Bahrain First Class in appreciation of honoring the kingdom with his presence and incredible talent.
His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received a cable of congratulations from the BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa on the 22nd anniversary of the National Action Charter. The Commander-in-Chief stressed the nation's pride and support of His Majesty the King's reforms. He wished His Majesty abundant health and happiness on the national occasion. The Royal Court announced that the President of Hungary, Katalin Novak, will start a visit to Bahrain today. The Hungarian President will hold talks with His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa on bilateral relations and the latest regional and international developments. In a statement, the Royal Court welcomed Bahrain's illustrious guest and her delegation and wished them a pleasant stay in the kingdom. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa received a cable of congratulations from the BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa on the 22nd anniversary of the adoption of the National Action Charter. The Field Marshal affirmed that the Charter reflects the vision of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, which has contributed to the kingdom's progress and development. He wished His Royal Highness good health and happiness and further progress and prosperity to the kingdom under the leadership of His Majesty the King. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa issued Edict 8 of the year 2023, amending some provisions of Edict 7 of the year 2020 on restructuring the Board of Directors of the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority, BTEA, based on the proposal of the Minister of Tourism. According to the Edict Item 5 of Article 1 of Edict 7 of the year 2020 on restructuring the BTEA's Board of Directors shall be amended as follows. Hussein Mohammed Ahmed Al Qasir, representative of Mumtalakat Company. The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs and Honorary President of the Bahrain Royal Equestrian Endurance Federation brief, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, directed to raise the prize pool of His Majesty the King's Endurance Cup Festival to 130,000 Bahraini dinars for the festival that will be organized by brief at Bahrain International Endurance Village. His Highness Sheikh Nasser expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa for supporting the youth and sports sector, which contributed to promoting Bahraini sports and international events, especially the endurance sport, which has reflected on the royal team's international participations through making European and international achievements. He affirmed that raising the prize pool will be an incentive for all participants to exert further efforts and achieve outstanding results, which will contribute to the development of the endurance sport. The Minister of Interior General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa received a delegation from the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations led by the CEO of the conference, William C. Darraf, in the presence of the Chief of Public Security Lieutenant General Tariq Al Hassan, Interior Ministry Under Secretary Sheikh Nasser bin Abdurrahman Al Khalifa, and Director General of Media and Security Culture Brigadier Muhammad bin Dana attended. The Interior Minister welcomed the delegation, whose visit comes to exchange views. He said that the National Action Charter represents the civilized and democratic approach of coexistence and peace culture and promotes understanding, dialogue and humanitarian tolerance, which stems from the vision of His Majesty the King. The Minister added that justice, coexistence and openness represent a solid foundation in Bahraini society to promote reform and national capabilities in facing challenges. He hailed the solid ties and strategic partnership between Bahrain and the U.S. to reinforce regional and international security and peace. He said that Bahrain is blessed with security and stability through a remarkable reduction in crime rate through measures that are based on community partnership and effective community security programs and initiatives. Meanwhile, the CEO expressed the delegation's appreciation for the meeting, the Ministry of Interior, in discussing the importance of the Abraham Accords between Bahrain, Israel and the U.S. and the focus on common values between the two nations. Industry and Commerce Minister Abdullah Fakhru has attended a panel discussion session as part of the World Government Summit being held in Dubai. The minister underscored the importance of achieving the sustainability of the industrial sector and enhancing regional and international cooperation. He highlighted the measures undertaken by the Kingdom of Bahrain to mitigate global challenges impacting supply chains and implementation of the directives of His Majesty the King, with the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He stressed the importance of supporting the localization of industries and investment, especially the targeted industries within the industrial sector strategy 2022-2026, hailing the role of the private sector. The Secretary General of the Supreme Council for Women, Hala Al-Ansari, delivered a speech during her discussion of the fourth national report of the Kingdom of Bahrain, the CEDAW, with the participation of the Kingdom's delegation that was formed following the decision of Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the STW, Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa. Al-Ansari affirmed that Bahrain is committed to continuing the implementation of the agreements that relate to enhancing the status of women and protects their rights. She briefed the members on the advancement made in implementing the CEDAW agreement in order to enhance women's participation in the development process and praised Bahrain's efforts to support member states in this regard. She highlighted the achievements and efforts of the Kingdom in empowering women as well as involving them in the labor market, especially after the amendment of the social insurance law, as well as guaranteeing equal pay between both genders. Al-Ansari also highlighted examples related to laws and legislation such as the issuance of the family law and allocating a building for family courts. She also referred to the issuance of the Law on Protection from Domestic Violence, which was referred to in Sidao, and the amendment of the Penal Code by tightening the penalty for refraining from reporting cases of violence while practicing the medical and health professions. Al-Ansari then highlighted a number of indicators that showcase the advancement of Bahraini women, including the initiatives to support women during the pandemic. For their part, the chairperson and members of the Sidao committee commended the great progress achieved by the Kingdom of Bahrain in terms of supporting the progress of Bahraini women. They noted that Bahrain, through the SCW, has demonstrated high efficiency in interacting with the Sidao committee, providing clear responses to the committee's inquiries, submitting the required reports at the specific times, and establishing a continuous constructive dialogue with the Kingdom of Bahrain in this regard, in a way that contributes to ensuring no discrimination against women in implementation of the provisions of Sidao. The Search and Rescue Task Force of BDF Royal Guard continues its field operation as part of its humanitarian relief mission, Sawaad al-Ghaith, to search for survivors and find the injured and victims from the rubble in the earthquake-affected areas in Turkey. This participation of the Royal Guards Task Force is part of the Kingdom's humanitarian initiatives towards friendly countries and its always benevolent endeavors to help the afflicted in the various countries of the world. Since its arrival in the Turkish province of Hatay, the task force has been carrying out its duties round the clock despite the harsh weather conditions there. In implementation of the directives of His Majesty the King, the Honorary President of the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, the RHF, with the support of the government led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and under the patronage of the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, Chairman of the National Committee for Supporting Earthquake Victims in Syria and Turkey, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the RHF Secretary General and CEO of the National Committee for Supporting Earthquake Victims, Dr. Mustafa Sayed, delivered a shipment of Bahraini relief humanitarian aid to Turkey. The Secretary General visited some of the areas affected by the earthquake and praised the role of the Bahraini rescue team and their great efforts in helping to rescue the injured and search for the missing. He also visited the Victim Service Center to inspect their needs and check its workflow. For his part, the representative of the Turkish presidency, Ali Yasin Sardar, expressed the thanks and appreciation of the Turkish leadership, government and people for Bahrain's noble stance. The Heritage Village Festival, which is held by the Ministry of Information in conjunction with the anniversary of the National Action Charter, is considered an important tourist destination for all age groups. The festival offers its visitors popular programs rich in Bahraini heritage and sheds light on many details and accurate information related to the past to be a vital and important tool in promoting these concepts to the new generations to learn about the history of their ancestors. The various activities of the festival affirm Bahrain's keenness to preserve Bahraini heritage. The Ministry of Interior Challenger Tennis Championship continues, and the fourth day of the tournament will hold 7 matches within the round of 16 for the singles competition. The last matches of the 32nd round of the singles competition will be held today, which will bring together the Australian Jason Kubler and the Italian Stefano Travella, while 4 matches will be held in the rounds of 16 for singles, during which the Czech Tomas Mashak and Colin Sinclair from the Northern Mariana Island, and the Italian Francesco Passaro and Lorenzo Giustino, Germany's Jean-Léonard Steff, with Australian Christopher O'Connell and Czech Marek Gingel, with Italian Salvatore Crusso, will compete. The president of the Sports Federation for Public Security and chairman of the organizing committee of the tournament, Colonel Khalid Al-Khayyat, accompanied by a representative of the Association of Tennis Professionals, Suzanne Conrad, inaugurated the exhibition accompanying the event in the club, which was inaugurated in conjunction with the celebration of the Kingdom of Bahrain of the anniversary of the National Action Charter, where the exhibition witnessed social and sports activities and entertainment for the purpose of introducing the players and delegations participating in the tournament to the national occasion.
The reception that I received here, as if I was from Bahrain. Everyone's been treating me so well. I mean, you guys treat everyone so well, but you guys made me feel like I'm playing at home, so I appreciate that.
I think every match is going to get tougher. I've got to play better and better every match. I think my opponents still have to play. So yeah, I'll just recover and hopefully I can play a little bit better the next one.
I think I played a good match today. Very happy to get through the first round. Now second round, tough opponent awaits, and yeah, looking forward to compete tomorrow again. There's a lot of good players in this competition playing here, so it's very difficult to win matches, but really looking forward to the next game against O'Connell. Very good player, and yeah, hopefully I can stay a bit longer here.
Marking the Kingdom of Bahrain celebration of the 22nd anniversary of the National Action Charter, the Ministry of Interior organized a parade near Bab al-Bahrain in Manama. The celebration stems as the National Action Charter represents a modern democratic edifice which the Kingdom of Bahrain has been proud of over the years. As an embodiment of this partnership, the police band played music amidst interaction from the public, who lined up and expressed their admiration and appreciation for these musical pieces that reflect loyalty, national belonging, love of the people, and their pride in their leadership. The National Action Charter, with all its determinants and governing rules, will remain a symbol of modern democracy, in which the people rally around their leaders, taking pride in the achievements and gains achieved during more than 20 years.